Man, you guys, I don't know if I should tell my story about my coworker. I feel like she'll literally put a spell on me. And I guess I'll tell it while I'm rolling this joint. I don't even know where to begin, really. Overview. This is a story about how I found out that my coworker had taken her daughter, 18-year-old daughter's, 18-month-old daughter, actually, her life, because of a mixture of psychosis and Santeria. So I was working at a job, I won't say where, and, she was my immediate, coworker with our program, and she onboarded me and taught me the ropes of the job, and she was super cool, super out there, a little weird, had a funky waiter, super bright red hair. She had lived everywhere. She lived primarily in New Orleans, but she said that she had lived everywhere and that she was a psychic and did readings. That's what she did in New Orleans, and I was like, oh, cool, I love astrology. And I got a reading done from her, okay? Now, when I tell the rest of this story, you may understand why I feel like she might have, put a hex on me in that moment. So, I almost just said her name. So, she, started not to like me, and the reason was because she was not good with technology, and our job was extremely tech based, right? So, it was very simple things that I was like, how do you not know how to do this? Where were you when this was integrated into society? One day, and she had been really weird to me. She initially really liked me, and then I don't know if it was because I just didn't um fall for her how do you say it? She was overextending herself, overcompensating. She was always always super, super on all the time. And I was like, anyone who's really on like that, what are they hiding? Come on, you can't be that on all the time. Let's go. And I was, fast forward, I'm standing outside with one of my coworkers who's also a really good friend, and she was like, have you ever Googled this person's name? And I was like, no, why would I do that? She was like, does she have her background check in for her job? And I was like, I have no idea. I haven't checked. She came here before I did. She was like, I can't even say out loud what I saw when I Googled her. You need to go home and you need to Google her tonight. You have to right away. And I was like, you can't even say it out loud? How bad could it be? And I knew that this woman had gone by different names her whole life. So she was going by her middle name, and then she was going by a shortened version of her first name, and she had so many different names. And she said that to me. It's almost like she wanted me to know. So I go home and I Google her, and come to find that she had murdered her 18-month-old baby due to a mixture of psychosis and practicing Santeria. Um, and there are those weird forums about people that do this shit, I guess, and also a mixture of what she did, this psychic and spiritual world and the Santerian world too. God, did I do some fucking research on Santeria after that? Not all Santeria is bad, I don't think, but this was bad. This was very, very bad. Um, our work and what we do, we believe in reform. I do believe that anyone can reform and have a normal life and reintegrate back into society after doing something wrong. The thing with this woman is I never knew about any of this, and in our job, it's our job to disclose our lived experience and why we're helping other people. I found out through the fucking internet, through a forum, like, that she had been in jail for a decade. Like, no wonder she didn't know how to fucking work a computer. She was literally in San Quentin for, like, a good chunk of time. So, anyways, I find this all out, and I spend countless nights, reading up on this, because my work doesn't know. And they didn't have a background check on her either, which is required. And I was like, how in the fuck did this slide? She had just gotten out of jail like a year before she got the job with us. And so I told the CEO and I told my manager, and he was like, what? He was like, are you sure? And I was like, Google it right now. Like, literally Google her name. It's public information. And he did, and he was like, like, he had, like, what do you say? What do you say? And, moral is, I mean, really ultimately what happened was, they couldn't do anything because what are they going to terminate her for? Killing her kid 10 years ago, and, we didn't find out until, and they kind of just did not freak out even a quarter as much as I did. It was a really scary time. I don't know where she is now. I hope she's well. I don't wish anything bad on her. I just, she left after I told the company for whatever reason. Like, whether she knew, she felt it, or what. But she left, and I remember seeing her once, and I was like, we looked at each other she definitely knew. She definitely knew. I was like, how does this even happen? It was so sketchy. Oh my god. So that's the story of my coworker who I found out through a mixture of psychosis and Santeria murdered her 18-month-old child. Not funny, just pretty ludicrous, and I laugh at awkward things. So that's the story.